everybody, we've got a Next Wave HD 520 CNC in our shop. It's the desktop model. It's got a 2 foot by 4 foot cut, a little bit larger than that, and we have a partnership with Next Wave, and they sent us a present. So let's take a second, let's talk about spoil boards, why spoil boards are important. Spoil boards is lots of conversation. Some people like them, some people don't. I am not confident enough in my skills that I'm not going to drive the bit through this beautiful aluminum top that's on this CNC. So I put a spoil board down. On top of that, a spoil board allows us to make sure with utmost certainty that the gantry is square to the cutting surface. So if you don't have a spoil board, you need one. Now, this is where Next Wave comes in. Next Wave sent us their brand new spoil board kit. It comes with absolutely everything you need to get a spoil board up and running quickly, and we're gonna unpack it, give it a go, and we'll tell you what we think about it. Let's open up our gift. Scan for product info. Look, there's a QI code. I know, isn't that nice?
You said QI.
Did I say QI?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm old. Stop making fun of me. Let's see what we got. It's like the favorite thing ever. It's like aggression therapy. Instructions. We never use those. No, I'm just kidding. Look, it comes with instructions. Okay, spoil board for the HD 510 520 includes one S1 set, S2 set, nuts, washers, Phillip pan. Cool. Nuts and washers. 2 of that. Isn't this pretty? Black MDF. Okay, we've multiple sizes, more nuts and washers. All right, we have all the parts. Moving on. Well, before we do this, let's take our old spoil board off. I actually made this spoil board. I would love to take credit for this design, but it was not. It was my friend Michael Long of MK Designs. I kind of call him the tech whisperer. He came up with this design. I made it out of 3/4 MDF that I bought at Home Depot. It's obviously been beaten up a little bit, but the new spoil board we just got kind of looks like Mike's design. All the nuts are loosened. Let the nuts loose. That does not even sound right. But that's not what I meant. I'm gonna lay it out first. First thing I'm noticing, which is really, really cool, is it already comes with the holes. The holes are gonna be machined, so the holes are gonna be right in line with our slots. So you don't have to worry about you actually trying, like, let's be honest. I mean, I struck a line and then I used a drill press. You might not have a drill press. You might be using a hand drill. So at least I know that this thing is gonna end up being square to the T-track, which is pretty cool. So when positioning slats, insert pointed bit in my router. Well, probably should have read the instructions before we did that. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So the instructions actually remind you of this, and it does go without saying, it does make sense. I'm just gonna set this up so that we can slide in the T-track. If you've never done this before, if this is your first time doing it, this little, we'll call it positive post, goes up. So this is the part when Kendall puts the camera down and helps me actually put these together. At some point it's probably a good idea. We'll be here for the next 6 hours. Okay, the instructions tell us to do this. We're gonna do it, we were gonna do it anyway because we're gonna pop a grid into this. We're gonna come all the way up to the front and the far left. So I'm going to not drive the V-bit through the actual grid. I'm going to slowly lower myself down because I intend to actually pop a grid in here. I'm gonna lightly tighten these up. You can use a square, but I'm just gonna use a tape measure. If I can get this one kind of square, because it's hip to be square. Okay, I think what we're gonna do for proper spacing, I think the right thing to do is to do the same thing in reverse. So I'm gonna come from the back side and then we'll just pin it to the back. So I'm gonna do the same thing here so we can cut a grid. Oh look, if we push it all the way over, it squares itself. No. Pro tip. Kendall watched me measure this for like 3 minutes to make sure it's square. And all I have to do is push it over. And I think she does it for pure videographer comedic value. Okay, really quick stop realization. We were following the installation instructions that showed the layout, but we want to put a grid in this. And I started going across, and then I realized that it's not gonna match what's on the instructions. So we're gonna adjust it so that we actually have a square grid to lay pieces up on. Makes a lot of sense. So yeah, we're gonna have a slightly wider dip in the middle, but anytime I've used this, I've actually started on the XY corner of the grid. So we're better off here. We can always adjust it later. Okay, so just out of sheer annoying consistency, I grabbed a square so we can make the front square. So we know we're already pinned here, so I'm gonna put it right on the outside rail, slide forward. We already made the mistake. We know that if we push everything to the right, and it's just a game of tightening it down. Oh, and not too tight, just hand tight. It's not going anywhere. Do not use a drill for this. You'll damage your T-frame. It honestly took us longer to put all the bolts in than it's taking us to finish it up, so maybe an hour total. And that is a spoil board. Okay, one of the last things that we're gonna do before we actually use this is we're gonna wanna flatten it, that way we make sure that the gantry and the spoil board are parallel to each other. And we're gonna cut a grid with 1-inch blocks on it, which just makes it easier for us to line stuff up. But while we're doing that, let's talk about the pros and the cons. So first up on the pro list has to be design. The way the design is laid out with room for the clamps in between the pieces is just a great design. The beauty of that is the ultimate flexibility, because if you mess up one piece, you can just buy another one and you don't have to buy a whole new spoil board. Pro number 2's gotta be ease of install. If I would have gone out, bought MDF, that had to lay out all the screw holes, drill all the screw holes, and then get everything square and put it on there, that's a lot of time. Definitely easy to install. Pro number 3 is cost. At $169, you know what? You may look at that and go, that's a lot of money. That's really not a lot of money. I went out and I checked the cost of a 3/4 inch sheet of MDF, and it was $70. You then need to cut it into strips. You need to put the curves on it. You need to drill the holes like we talked about on the ease install. Your time is worth money. At $169, this is a great value. And last but not least on the pro list has to be looks. It's a red and black machine. You have black MDF. Who doesn't like that color combination, especially if you happen to be in the fire department? Now making it over to the con list, there's not really a lot of cons. I mean, you might want to call a color a con, and that's if you're going to cut a grid in it like we do, and you want to mark the grid with the measurements. But you know what? I'm going to get a silver Sharpie or silver paint pen right on the black, and we'll see how that works. So I wouldn't even call that a con. I'd call that like 1/8 of a con. And then the last con, which isn't also not really a con, we'll call it like a 32nd of a con. There was a comment on Next Wave's Facebook page where they're talking about the screws should be plastic just in case you drive your bit through the screw. Well, the screws are 5/16 of an inch below the surface, and you don't want them to be plastic. I want to address that. I understand that as a con. Depending on your shop HVAC scenario, plastic gets brittle, and it will get brittle over time. So if your shop's too cold, then on top of that, the plastic is going to vibrate and it's going to stretch and it's going to compress. So I guess when I'm really pulling it all together, if I take the cons and I add the cons together, I have like 1/4 of a con, but they're not really a con. There's no cons. This is a great piece of equipment. If you have a Next Wave HD 500 series CNC, you definitely need to get this. We'll see you next time.